Hey, this is DD with another cryptocurrency and blockchain update. So I want to talk about living in Thailand, how I made it work, why I came here, why I left the US, how to stay here long term, and all that stuff. And I'll tell you how this intertwines with cryptocurrency. So it's a really neat story, so stick around. All right, so I've been in Thailand almost 8 years, moved from the US, and number one question I get is, why did you move to Thailand? And there's several answers, but the number one answer is, I get treated better here. And that's really all you need to know. That's all I need to know. That's reason enough to come to Thailand or move to any other country. It doesn't have to be Thailand. But that's reason enough for me. That was reason enough. The other answers, number two would be is that my money goes up to three times further here compared to the US. And so, I mean, think about it, whatever your savings is you just triple that. If your expenses are 3 times less, you basically have tripled your savings tax-free. So think about that. Now I lived up in Chiang Mai, which is a very, very inexpensive place to live in the entire world. It's one of the cheapest places to live. And I lived there for 7 years, and a brilliant place. And I met people from all walks of life there. People that are on a retirement income of $1,000 a month moved there because they can live very cheaply there and live a good lifestyle there. And I met millionaires and billionaires there. All walks of life live in Chiang Mai. Really amazing city. I moved here because I was there for more than 7 years and I just got bored. So, and every 7 years I make a move. And it was just time to come here on this island, Koh Samui. So the people that I met, so I told you I met some millionaires, and I met Mark Faber, who's a billionaire, multi-billionaire, and he's Dr. Doom, and he's been on many financial channels. He's a newsletter. He has a newsletter. He's also a financial analyst. And when I met Mark Faber a few years ago, I asked him, if he's recommends Bitcoin to his clients. He said no, because he didn't understand it. Now he does, which is really cool. But and I met millionaires too who came here, and they said they're treated better. It's not all about the money. They came and said we're treated better here, and people from all over the U.S. So really amazing country. But I don't want to sell Thailand. I want to sell the fact that if you want to get treated better, maybe look at moving to another country. Usually people that live in their own country aren't treated quite as well. It's just the way it works, because if you're like a perpetual tourist, you generally get treated better anyways. But the Thai culture is just an amazing culture, and they're pretty tolerant of foreigners, Westerners. Just an amazing culture, very non-confrontational. That's a third reason, a great culture. I love the Thai culture. I love the Thai people, super friendly, the friendliest people I've ever met. Just so many things, so many reasons why I came here. Now, the way you make it work, if you're thinking about coming to Thailand, I can't speak for Philippines or Vietnam or any other country because I have not lived there. I can only speak for Thailand, but this may be true for these other countries too that are inexpensive, and you can live a good lifestyle and make your money go a lot further. But to live here, if you're 49 years old and under, is that you can be basically be on a permanent tourist. You get a visa, you just renew it every 2 months. Now, I don't know how long that'll last. They've changed the rules since I came here, but you could also get a work permit. You can find a job here and get a work permit, and you can stay here under the age of 49. You can also start a business here, get a work permit. You can stay here as long as you want, as long as you keep that work permit renewed. When you turn 50 and up, you can get a retirement visa. You get a long-term visa. You renew it every year. You need about $26,000 in a bank account, the equivalent in Thai baht. It's about 26K US dollars equivalent. You basically lock it up though. So you can't really touch that money. So that's how that works. But if you've got the means, then go for it. It really is something to check out. Now, so when I was in the US, almost 8 years ago, I told my friends and family, so I'm going to live here. And they say, why are you going to Thailand? Why are you doing that? I'm like, why are you not? People that don't travel they don't really know what the world is like. If people stay within their own country or their own state in the US or in their own little bubble, they don't really know what the world's like. Because they get their information from the news, they get it from textbooks, they get it from Travel Channel, and that's it. That's what they think the reality is. And that quote unquote reality is totally skewed. It's not like how it really is. Before I came here, people were warning me that it was so dangerous here, and there's diseases and there's wars and all kinds of stuff. And well, that's what the news told you. If the news tells you, just think of the opposite of what you hear on the news. Okay. So when I came here, okay, back when I was in the U.S., I had all this. I had property and toys and collections, and I gave it all up. I sold everything. I got divorced. That marriage was a learning experience, and once I eradicated that, I said, I'm going to start fresh. I'm hitting the reset button of all reset buttons. Sold everything, and after I got divorced, I came here. And I didn't have any income when I came here. I had savings, and that was it. And I knew the savings wasn't going to last forever, but I said, I'm going to come here, I'm going to make something work. So when I came here, that I was living off of savings for a while and living in Chiang Mai, and it's pretty cheap to live there, and you can actually spend money there too. Depends on what what activities you what entertainment you want or whatever. Or you can sit at home and eat noodles all day long, and you can live there for less than $1,000 a month, no problem. If you want to have some entertainment, you'll spend a little bit more. But there's so many things to do in Thailand. There's so many things, so many tours and beaches and whatever, diving, and no diving in Chiang Mai. There's no beaches there. But so I came here, and then what I did after I came here is I started an Amazon business, and it's called Amazon FBA, and I studied that like you wouldn't believe. Because what I did is, Amazon is a very tricky business, and I don't recommend people getting into Amazon now. It's a very, very difficult business now. But when I got into it, I got into Amazon right at the peak, and I sold a sports product. I did that for a year, and I worked like a true madman. I made it work because I studied. When I was learning how to sell on Amazon, you can watch some YouTube videos. That if you really want to get the nitty gritty of anything, you really got to pay for the information. Free information is fine, but if you get just a little bit of information for free, it's worth it to pay. And I paid $1,000 for a course that really got into the nuts and bolts of selling on Amazon and making it work too. And I made it work. But I followed those videos and those audios. I was just absorbing it, and I was going crazy. I said, I'm making this thing work. And I was actually learning this course that I bought, and it doesn't exist any longer, so I can't recommend any courses, but this particular course that I bought, I was actually learning while I was getting a massage. I'm learning about Amazon. I remember that very vividly. And I had two other friends who got in Amazon. It didn't work out for them. For me, I made it work, and I was mad. I was a madman. And I would wake up. Sometimes I wake up 2 a.m. and I still do that sometimes. I wake up 2 a.m. and I would check my reviews, and then sometimes I get a bad review, and then I'd be awake for the rest of the morning. That was it. I got to retort that bad review. But I made it work, and I actually flipped that business, and I made a really good profit when I sold the Amazon business. And I can't reveal how I sold it, but there's and I hate to do this, but I know that my Patreon members are going to say don't give out too much stuff on YouTube or in a video. Leave some of the really juicy details in Patreon. Now in my Patreon, I'm going to reveal how I sold it and what broker I use. So any electronic business, any online business, you can sell it. If it has an income, you can sell it for 25 times earnings. So little secret, and I made a lot of money with that. Now here's how I got into crypto. Is that when the business sold, it took 3 weeks to sell. It took less than 3 weeks to sell. Sold pretty quick. This broker is sharp. They know what they're doing. And so when the business sold it at almost 98%, about 96, 97, almost 98% asking price. Oh, what was it? Oh, I'm so close. It was just under, sorry for those goofy details. It was just under 100% what I asked for it, okay? And so when I got paid, the broker says, or when the whole thing was settled, the broker says, how would you like to get paid? Would you like a wire transfer, or would you like Bitcoin? And I was like, Bitcoin, yeah. I tried to buy that back in 2013 or something, but it was too difficult. I just gave up. To me, it's difficult. I was like, oh, what is this? I didn't know what Bitcoin is. Why am I going to even try this? Is it going to work? No. So I ended up buying more gold and silver at that time. It was easy. I just go down to my dealer, PM dealer, and bought some silver. So I was easy at the time. Turned out Bitcoin would have been a way better investment, but you know, all's not lost. This has turned out to be a very happy story here. So happy story is when the broker said, well, would you like to get paid in Bitcoin? Actually took some payment of Bitcoin. This was in early 2017, right before the bull market really just took off. That's how I got into cryptos. It all just kind of cascaded from one thing to another, and opportunity just kept presenting itself. And the way opportunity presents itself is you just got to work really hard. People say you're lucky. It's not about luck. It's about researching, working hard, having a goal, and don't give up. That's what luck is. I have people, you know, my brother says, you're the luckiest guy in the world. Like, you know, I sacrifice a lot to be, quote unquote, this lucky. I sacrifice a lot, I make goals, and I just work towards it like a true madman. And I am a madman sometimes. I really am. I really am. So I got Bitcoin, just over $1,000 per Bitcoin. And then I started researching it. I said, wow, what is this? Bitcoin is really cool. There's other cryptos. There's Ethereum, and then there's Monero, and then there's XRP. And so Ethereum was the second crypto I bought, and XRP was the third. And I bought XRP at less than a penny. And I watched it go up to more than $3. Now, I didn't sell at the top, but I made a really good profit with XRP. And just the opportunity kept cascading. It kept going, you know, it kept unfolding. Now, I got about the middle of 17, we were starting to see these cryptos really go up, and then I was helping people, I was onboarding people to get into the crypto space, doing it for free. And I've said this before in videos that people that get something for free, they don't really, really, truly appreciate it. And virtually no one really appreciated what I did for them. But all is not lost there either, because it's a very valuable learning and training for me onboarding people in the crypto space. So yeah, I didn't get appreciated, you know, but that's just the nature of people. That wasn't the people I was working with. They're fine. It's just the way people are. If you pay for something, you're really going to appreciate it. But that was valuable training for me, helping these people, helping to onboard. Now the bull market peaked at 2018, and it started to really go down. I stuck with it. People that I was helping before they got out of cryptos, you know, about mid to end of 2018, they're like, I'm done with this whole thing. This is too risky, too volatile, which it is. The volatility, not risky, and it's not risky at all. It's risky not being into cryptos. But I stuck with it. I researched it, and through this whole grueling bear market that we had, I researched it. I stuck with it, and I started my Patreon more than 2 years ago, about 28 months ago, 29 months ago, I started my Patreon. I just started, I say, I'm going to create this Patreon group, and I'm going to keep on researching and doing my thing. And that was really 2 years before that took off, and people became interested. But you know, the risk for cryptos is not being in it, because this whole US dollar thing is a scam upon scam. And they don't teach you this in schools, about how this whole pyramid scheme called the US dollar. They don't teach you about what this fractional reserve lending and all this other stuff is, and quantitative easing. They don't teach you this stuff for a reason. This is why you come here on this channel and these other great channels, crypto channels. The biggest risk is not being into cryptos, because I don't care about the volatility. If Bitcoin went from $20,000 to $3,000, I'll take that volatility any day over this whole scam called fiat currency. That is a scam, and that is a scary scam. I tell people, get out of the US dollar, get out of your, I know you're not just from America that's watching this, and I mean really any currency. People from all over, you know, the world that view this channel, Australians, people from the UK, Europe, Canada, US of course, a little bit from South America, New Zealand, and some Asian countries too. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in. You know, we're all in the same boat. We're all under this whole scam called fiat currencies, where they can just keep on printing. This is the thing about cryptos, is they are finite, or basically finite, with a very small inflation. I hope I'm not diverting too much. Okay, back to Thailand. Guys, I don't know if you're interested to come here or any other place in the world, you just make it work. If you don't have a plan, some people wait years and years before they have a true, everything's planned out. And those people that usually, they end up coming here, they say, you know, I wish I would have come here a lot sooner to Thailand. I wish I would have come here sooner. I didn't. I'm coming here, I'm going to make it work. And I did make it work. And I have a history of entrepreneurship. I started looking at online businesses, or not online businesses, but work from home type businesses, entrepreneurial opportunities back when I was a teenager. And I tried this and it didn't work. I tried this and this and this and it didn't work. I kept on trying. My friends were laughing at me. And friends can be really cruel sometimes, but that's just because they don't have the drive. And I think maybe intuitively they know that you're going to be successful, so they try to bring you down. But I kept trying, and finally what finally worked for me was I sold at a flea market, and I sold cutlery, like knives and scissors, sharp objects, medical instruments. It's as weird as it sounds, dental picks, hemostats, pocket knives, a little bit of sporting goods. And that worked amazingly. That worked. Finally something paid off, and I made a lot of money in the flea market business. A lot of money. Don't ever laugh at people that sell or used to sell at a flea market. There's money in flea markets if you have the right product. Amazing. I really missed that business. I did that for 7 years, by the way. There's my 7-year cycle. When I did the flea market, that led me into an opportunity rose because I found a deal on some jerseys. These are baseball jerseys. They had Mickey and Company across the front. And so I bought a bunch of those, and I was selling them. And I bought them dirt cheap, and I was selling them for great profit. And one day I was in this restaurant, and I took a box of these goods. And I had a partner at the time when we started buying these closeout goods. We took this box into this restaurant and just started selling it guerrilla style to the patrons. And people were buying them up. God, we paid like we paid $3 for these jerseys. We were selling for $15. That's a good markup. And then the owner came up to us while we were selling. When we just set up shop right on the table. Sometimes you don't ask permission, just do it. Yes, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So the owner came up. I was like, oh God, we're busted. He says, how much would you charge me to put my logo on this left chest, and I'll buy them from you wholesale, and then I'll resell them. And well, we figured out how to do that and sold. We got into the whole wholesale logoed apparel business. Now, partner at the time, it only lasted a few months. He turned out to be a crook. He got into a lot of trouble with drugs and theft and all kinds of stuff. So he disappeared, and I continued this whole business. And this is how I got into the logoed apparel business. It just cascaded from there too. I did that for 17 years, and I worked from home, no staff, no equipment, because all the printing I did on these shirts, I farmed it out, I brokered it out. And I had bars and restaurants and other businesses and hotels. They were wanting their shirts logoed. And then I got into the pins and the coffee mugs and the hats. And then I was dealing with corporate clients and Fortune 500s. And it was a crazy business. And again, I worked by myself, solopreneur. And opportunity will come to you if you just keep pressing on. Don't worry about all these people that's laughing at you. If people's laughing at you, they know that you're going to succeed. Just if they laugh at you and you give up, then you deserve to be laughed at. But if they laugh at you and you don't give up, then you're going to have the last laugh. I can guarantee you that. So these things kept cascading, and then when I came to Thailand with no plan, I said, I'm going to make it work. I made it work. The Amazon, I made it work. Now the cryptos, then I researched cryptos, and I still do like a complete mad scientist. And it's my passion. Another reason why it's my passion is I know that where cryptos are going to go, they're going to go crazy. The last 2 months of this year, November, December, I believe it's going to go nuts. 2021 is going to open up so much opportunity for you guys, and you don't have to, worry about spending if you're on $1,000 a month budget, you're not going to have to worry about that if you're investing in the right cryptos. This is my financial opinion. Now, we don't know where the prices of cryptos are going to go for sure. Nothing's for sure, because the world's dynamic, right? But I have an idea. I researched this a lot, probably more than a lot of people. I got into cryptos 3.5 years ago, and I've been researching this every single day. And in my financial opinion, we're going to see this golden bull run. It's going to be next year, but we're going to see, again, in my opinion, we're going to see this start at the end of this year, probably post U.S. elections. So I think we're going to see crazy, crazy numbers. We're already seeing the start of the bull run, and a lot of the cryptos I talked about Theta when it was less than 10 cents and went up to 80 cents. And Chainlink, bought at 35 cents, went up to $20. See, The thing is, you don't get rich right away. I bought Chainlink 2.5 years ago, and it didn't really come to fruition until about 2 years later. Theta, it took about a year to do about a 7x, 8x. I think we're just getting started with some of these, but you don't really get rich overnight. Generally, you don't, and it takes a while. You buy the right cryptos, and you just wait. You be patient, and if it's the right one, you don't FOMO in it. You don't panic sell. You don't panic buy. You just keep buying every week, every month, whatever you cost average in. So, all right, so there's my advice about Thailand. Well, I've covered a lot of stuff here. Guys, if you want to get treated better, just start traveling. I know nobody's traveling right now, unfortunately, but next year it's going to open up. You can start traveling, touring some countries, and just start saying, hey, maybe I could live here, maybe I could live here, maybe I could live in I don't know, Georgia Republic, which is something I'm going to be looking at next year too, as a secondary place to go to. That looks really interesting, and some people, maybe you want to go to Portugal, that's tax-free for cryptos, and some other countries are tax-free for cryptos. But just start exploring the world. Don't rely on what the news media tells you. They're going to tell you the exact opposite of what's really going on. Do your own exploring, and don't be fearful. Just start exploring, and look for other places to live if that's what you want to do. If you're happy where you're at, stay where you're at. That's fine. If you're treated very well where you're at right now, stay exactly where you're at. No problem there. So check out my Patreon. Sorry, I can't reveal how. If you have an online business, I know exactly how you can flip it and probably make a really good profit. As long as you're making good profit in your business and has a consistent income of 1 year or better, any online business at all, I know exactly how you can flip that, sell that business if you want to get out of it, and make 25 times earnings. So what I mean by that is if you're making $10,000 a month in that business is worth 25 times that, so it's worth $250,000. So I've got the resource for that. Check out the Patreon if you want to check that out. Follow me on Theta.tv, Theta.tv/crazy for cryptos, crazy number 4 cryptos. Follow me there. I'm getting that built up, and maybe you're watching this on Theta TV for the first time, or YouTube. I don't know how you're going to find this video, but follow me there, because this is the future of YouTube. Is Theta.tv. This is the future. So my advice is start learning how to use it. If you want to start a channel there, do it. Start a YouTube channel, whatever. That's fine. Just get going. Get going, and then eventually you'll succeed. So, all right, this is DD. That's all I got. Give this video a like, give it a share, subscribe to this channel, and give me that, ring that bell if you would, for the notification bell. Now on Theta.tv, I don't think there's a notification bell. No, I don't think there is. You just follow me on Theta.tv. Follow me there, it'd be really great. I appreciate having you there as well. All right, it's DD. I'll see you next time.